All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Music Junkies. Today we have a special interview with Trevor Wesley, singer, songwriter, beat maker. What else? What else do you do?
I just like to create, I guess, but yeah, mainly songs and production, and but I realize that everything is kind of like correlated to each other. So it's like cooking, even like it's like making music. You just take different ingredients, put them together, and depending on your taste, you make some.
Yeah, yeah. So
Nice. So
how did you get
what part?
started in the music industry?
Well, the music industry came later, but it's like I never chose to do music. I just subconsciously or whatever. I knew that I had talent when I was at a young age, and I just did it. It wasn't an idea of mine. My parents had a piano at the house, and I guess my mom would say that I would hear the vacuum cleaner and be like me, and then I would go to the piano and be like, hey, look. So I started playing the piano, and then it wasn't until later I realized that I can do something. It's like a gift and a curse. It's like I have to do music now.
Yeah, yeah,
But the industry part of it is like it's totally different than when you're young and talented or whatever, and you love making music. It's such a different mindset going into the music industry, because the music industry isn't about talent. It's not about it's a little piece of it, but really what drives it is the network you have, and whose ass you're kissing, and what circles you're in, stuff like that. So it's like more so political in my experience.
business, political, all
So
that.
what do you enjoy most about being a musician?
Just creating, I guess. There's nothing like making something, you know
Mhm.
like I think too that it's a good opportunity. I realized, because I would like play the piano out, before this like quarantine and stuff like that. I'd play the piano all the time, different restaurants, and play just wherever I could. And when I would play and sing, like people would be in their conversations and talking, but then when I play something, all of a sudden they would stop, and then they would look over, and it's like I realized that I have like a power of bringing people to the present moment.
Yeah,
And
you
I was
become
like,
an
damn,
influencer.
that's crazy, well, because you could be in your head, in your imagination, or whatever, and that's not reality. But then playing and singing something, you capture someone to come back to reality.
Mhm.
So that's cool.
So only live once was your. Is that your first EP?
Oh yeah, that was the first project I ever made. Yeah.
So how does that compare to what you're making now?
Well, I'm not gonna go back and listen to it because, but like it's definitely an evolution. Like I think every song I make I try to make it better than the last, but at the same time still stay true to what I do. Like I don't want to, like I can make different kinds of things, but there's just something in me that loves like certain things. I think that all my influences that I loved, like jazz, and I grew up in California and LA, and I listened to like K Earth 101, Kiss FM and stuff. I mean, if you're not from here, those are like, K Earth 101 was like the oldies, or K Earth 101. Then they had, like the hit songs on Kiss FM and stuff. And so like my mom would play like, Ella Fitzgerald and Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra and those kind of things, like jazzy kind of good, feel good wedding type
Yeah.
music. And then my dad was like, in the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and stuff like that. And so I think that when I make music now, I just subconsciously am it's like when I hear something that I like, I just go with it. I'm not trying to like plan anything. I just like it, and it's like a binary decision. It's like, yeah, that's cool, cool. And then whatever I have with that, I add something to it. And then sometimes too, it's like whatever I started with, I end up deleting after I added things around it, because it led me to something else.
Yeah, there's always a way to get there. It's like a chain reaction. You start off and then everything just starts building up, and you get to your final product.
It's almost like I don't even really create. I just arrange. It's like I believe in God, and I'd say God created all things, and it's just I can just see it, right? I have the awareness to say, hey, that's cool, look at that, and then use it. So it's like I'm co-creating, arranging.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So we found out what you liked about being a musician. What do you hate about it? Aside from having to kiss people's asses and shit.
Well, I don't. I learned like hate. If I hate anything, I suffer, because it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So I don't hate. I don't
Hey,
have.
that's
But
yes. Okay.
but I do know, like, if I focus on what I like, well, then what I don't like doesn't matter, because I didn't use it. But as far as the industry goes, it's the same kind of thing with people. I like I can see when other people are angry or hateful or manipulative or, like, because I don't have that hatred. There was a time when I didn't realize that I was angry, and because I found myself being blameful, right? I didn't get a call back from someone. I'd create a story in my head about why I didn't get a call back or whatever. And whatever made me feel, like unaccountable to myself. And I realized, especially as a man, like I want to be accountable to myself and not blame other people. And so now that I'm like, been growing in my life, I just realized that the right way is to surround myself with the people that love what's right, and of course you don't always know what the people that love what's right until it's revealed, right? And people reveal themselves as you get to know them and work with them. So I just gravitate towards people that don't have anger, and that are, not in their egos, and that are able to just, be themselves, and they're secure in themselves. And then it's like, I could see the so-called enemies, around me all the time, because I don't know, because I don't hate them. I can see them and I know it, but I know I'm not going to accept certain things as right. Like if I'm going to do business with somebody, it's like, I know what I want to do, and this is fair for me and this is fair for them. Like I want everybody to win together, because that's what it's about. Like a rising tide raises all the ships.
Yeah.
But I guess each moment is each moment. I don't want to hold on to anything about like this is what I hate, this is what I don't. It's like, but in situations, I'll know what I should and should not do. And if I do the wrong thing, hopefully not, I'll learn from it.
I think hate was too powerful of a word to use. I should have said.
No, I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I get you, man. That's those are powerful words right there. Very positive, optimistic. Yeah.
They hit you. They hit Jake.
Yeah, he's speaking to me.
So, I know you get asked this a lot. Chivalry is Dead. It was went viral everywhere. How did that blow up like it did?
It happened because I used to sing at this spot called Republic of Pie in North Hollywood. It was like a little coffee shop, and it was like I used to just come up there, and they had like a little piano there, and I became friends with the owner, and I would play and sing there all the time. And so I would do that, right? And I would just sing, and there's in the community there's like dancers and other kind of people there. So like a couple of years later, I worked with this company called Dance On that helped me they were trying to help me find a dancer that I could collaborate with. And then they sent me this kid named Ian Eastwood.
Yep.
I saw him. They sent me a bunch of different people, and I saw Ian, and I was like, man, that guy's awesome. And I just feel like his style kind of like works with the kind of music I'm making.
Yeah. And
so we reached out to him to see if we could collaborate and send him, some songs, and he picked that one. But at the time, like he had a fee, and I was like, well, I don't have the money to pay for this, So we weren't going to do it. And then later on, he hits me back, and he recognized me from Republic of Pie. He's like, that's the guy from Republic of Pie. I've seen him play.
That's crazy.
And so he hits me back and said that Jamba Juice, the company, reached out to him and wanted him to make a piece of content for Valentine's Day. And so they were giving him the money to make a piece of content for Valentine's Day. And he's like, well, Jamba Juice paid me the fee, so let's just do it with your song. And I was like, no way. So it like really came together. And then he just did the dance. And then, we released the song that way, where, he posted the video and then put the link to the music in his description. And then everybody was like, what song is that? And it was a natural, organic way where, it wasn't trying to force people to say, hey, listen to my music and download it. Or it was just, they saw, I really learned a lot from that, because the power of dancing and or visual with music, and letting it be, the listener's idea to like it, where I'm not trying to force them to, but they see, like, cause dancing, it's like, you can see things that you might, or hear things that you might not have heard because you saw it, some movement with it. And he already had a following, pretty big following. And so that gave it like a good little head start to be able to, start a fire going.
Yeah. Well, it has 34 million streams on Spotify alone.
I know, that's crazy, man. I think it's had over 100 million streams if you combine all the platforms together with the, like, people started making covers of it and stuff. And I'm so thankful for that, because I don't know. I don't want to look and think of like, oh, what if this didn't happen? Because it happened, Yeah. But I'm just super grateful for that.
So that song is what, I've been listening to you for about 3 years.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so this girl, one of my friends was telling me, hey, listen, watch this dance video, because she's a dancer and she was all into it. And I saw that Ian dance video. It's really cool. It kind of pushed me into your music. Like you said, I saw the visual, I heard the song, and I was like, okay, this is a badass song. So then I started listening to a little bit of that album, Just a Fling, and then Boom, what is it?
Boom chicka boom.
Boom chicka boom. Yeah, exactly. The baby making music.
Right.
That.
Yeah, I was super grateful for that, and the love I got from it. It was crazy because it like really kind of popped off in the Philippines area too. I noticed.
Yeah.
So how do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
It's impacted it in so many different ways. There's positive ways and there's negative ways, I think. But
let's
the positive
on the good.
Yeah. The positive ways, I think, is that it gives access to independent artists to be able to, talk to the world, and a lot of platforms now, it's so easy to just upload and do it, even though there's so many little, things that you don't think about that are important, like that thing with Ian Eastwood. Like a lot of people might not think that they'll just want to put a song out, which is what I used to do. And I haven't put out music in a while, and I because I had a manager, a business partner for a long time, and we went different ways, and so now I've been having to do everything on my own, and so I'm just trying to figure out the right way to do it again. And so I've just been creatively working on new music, and if the music's great, that's phase one, and I know with social media and stuff like that, it's like I need to come at it the right way and not just put out music and hope for the best, but have some sort of plan. Because I realize that, like, if I have grenades of music, right, and I just throw them into deserts, then, they're gonna explode and nothing's gonna happen. But I need to create other grenades in different places, so when I throw a grenade, it explodes multiple things, and so I know that, like, collaborating with other people, and it doesn't necessarily have to be dancers, even though dancers are like the yin to the yang of music, of listening, the visual, but just creative ways of being able to collaborate with other people and having it be a plan of some sort, to where it's like I know that that's something that I need to do once I'm finished with all the music and I'm just ready to put it out, is reach out to different people and figure out if they would be interested in being a part of a launch of songs and stuff like that,
So how has COVID affected the music and your, or how has it affected you in general,
I mean, I can't say it's affected me because, I can see what's going on in the world. And to me, it's like, it's pretty crazy to me. Just because, I don't want to I know this is about music, but it's affected me in the sense that I'm not out performing anymore. I'm not out like networking and going to jam sessions and hanging out with friends and, making music and stuff like that. But it's not like making me feel any kind of way about it, but it is revealing a lot of people, I think a lot of people are angry, they're at home, they're by themselves. And I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with themselves. So they're so used to going out and being around people that the worst is coming out of people. And at least that's my opinion. But, I don't know. Yeah. It's just an interesting time for sure.
It's crazy. We've never experienced anything like this. And like you said, it's showing people's true colors, and, it's affecting them. I'm home fucking 24/7. I work remote, and I do the podcast here remotely. It's so, it's kind of
that's one good thing though, right? You got to be home and create.
Yeah.
And it's kind of good too, because like people are, if they're at home, they could be listening to my music. So
yeah, and you're able to promote yourself a little more because you have some time to be on the socials and stuff like that. So I mean, I've heard good and bad. Some content creators are like, no, I want to be out there, I want to be performing. Some other content creators, I'm at home, I'm making music, I'm writing, I'm promoting. So it could go either way.
For sure.
So what is your creative process like? Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know, man. It's always different. And I know that I do have a process, but I mean, usually when I make music, I start with musicality of something. Like I produce music in Logic X is a program, the DAW, and I pull up different sounds. I find something that I like, and like I said earlier, I just kind of start. I take out what's in front of me, and I just move on to the next thing. But I usually like to create the music first, and then capture a feeling that it gives. And then when I, marinate in that feeling, I'm like, what does this feel like? And I come up with a song title, right? Or sometimes I'll just like mumble, like "Chivalry is Dead," right? I knew I wanted to write a song called "Chivalry is Dead" before I wrote it, because I realized that it was a saying, and that there was no song called "Chivalry is Dead." And because it's already a saying and people already know it, that's a powerful thing, because it's like, it's almost like, I didn't come up with the term "chivalry is dead," but if you type in "chivalry is dead," I'm the first thing that pops up. So it's like I claimed the saying.
You coined it.
Same with the song "In This World." I said "that ass though." I wrote that because I saw all these hashtags on Instagram, girls like "that ass though." I was like, well, damn, I never heard a song
use that dog one.
"that ass though."
That little dog skit you made. I'm gonna use that one. That one was freaking.
I know I say that kind of stuff all the time, especially like old ladies, and some of them get pissed off because they're like feminists or something. They're like, "How dare you?"
Term and endearment. What the heck? It's like,
right. I'm not trying to get with you. I'm just being friendly. I'm trying to make your day.
So, you're coming out. I don't know if you're coming out with a new song. I saw it on Instagram. Fuck Out of Here.
Fuck out of here.
It was a fucking good song.
Well, thanks,
well,
man.
the clip I heard.
Of songs I'm working on. Because I'll start a lot of songs and then I'll get ideas and I'll just keep coming up with ideas. And after I have a whole bunch of them, I'm like, what's the strongest one that's like the winner? And that one for sure, I was like, damn, that's a banger. Like I knew it, And so I got to finish it, and I'm pretty much done with it. I think there might be a couple little changes because after I got to listen to it, because I realized that like if a song, once you put a song out, it's out there, and what's the song sound like in 5 years or 10 years or whatever? Like, I'm going to notice certain things that I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. I should have changed it. So I try to like create stuff and then listen to it over and over and over and over. So then I can like dig deep enough to listening to it where I'm like, wait a second, like the Fuck Out of Here song. I thought I was done. I was doing all this stuff to it. And then I was like, just listening to the instrumental. And then it was just like one little bass note that was like a semitone or a whole step off. And I was like, how did that happen? I missed it. Like, had I just been, all right, I'm done. And I put it away, I wouldn't have never noticed that little bass line. And then if I put it out like that, I'd been pissed.
That's just you being a perfectionist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, man, you're trying to put out professional stuff, so I totally get that. So, yeah, I mean, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
The best,
like as far as like making your music and whatnot, doing your thing. If you've ever had any, I don't.
Yeah, it's hard for me to think of advice that I've been given, but if I had to give advice about it, the best advice that I would give would be to always stay creative. Like I notice a lot of people in the industry, especially, they're like Kinko's copy machines, where they're like, and I understand this process because when I started singing, I was a Kinko's copy machine because I'd listen to other people and I really loved their voice or loved something about it, and I wanted to emulate them. So I would start to do everything that they did and learn it once I learned it. And then I found someone else. I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. And I started doing, copying what they did. But eventually I came into my own where I was, became a product of all the influences that I emulated and copied in. And I found my own in an early time. And especially with producers, I feel like I've worked with a lot of people who like just basically go like, they listen to a track they like, and then they just recreate it. And then they like make little changes, but they didn't really like create it from nothing to being like, all right, I think there's something about being able to listen to what every sound is telling you, what every lyric, but like it's so much work to have to try. I don't know how to say it right, but there's like, it's so much easier and less work if you're just aware, right? And you're just like the observer and you listen to what a sound is telling you or what's going on. Like the songwriting thing, right? It has to, I want to come up with the name of the song first, and I'll come up with the name of a song because of what I'm feeling, what it's telling me it feels like. You know, it could feel like if it's a James Bond song or something, like if you know that feeling, it's like beep, 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 beep. You're like, oh, I feel like that. You know, like it makes you feel something. And so, yeah, I would just say, if you're creative, to hone in on the creativity, because if you create from within and you channel that creation, then it's forever and you'll always keep growing. You won't stay stagnant and only able to copy and duplicate what's in front of you. Like, you know, what you want to, I don't know if I'm saying it right. But it's hard to put it into words, but it's because it's really just something that it's a feeling that I like, a knowingness, you know, where you know what to do, you know, and it's not, that's why I think that I don't really create anything, because something in me is telling me like, hey, like that works and that doesn't work, and do it. Or I have a vision of something. I'm like, wow, that's this. And I see an outcome, you know, I'm like, whoa. And it wasn't because I heard it from something else. And maybe subconsciously I did. Maybe subconsciously I heard something somewhere else, and now I'm pulling it and putting it, pairing it with something else, you know. It's really nothing new. Everything is just paired with something different that you can hear, and then it sounds new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got another one for you. So it's kind of off topic, but what's like a useless talent that you have? You would call useless? Kind
useless
funny.
Talent?
Yeah.
Me, I'm useless. No, I'm kidding.
My existence.
Shit, man.
I guess
really
maybe I don't know. I'm definitely like to joke around a lot, and these days I feel like people are so sensitive that saying things that are offending people, I guess, could be a useless talent of mine, because it doesn't really help anything.
Oh, speaking truth.
People off.
God forbid you do that.
But I get around the right people. It's like I talk shit with the ones I love the most. Like if I'm talking shit with somebody, it's because I know that it's like we're cool, you know. It's like the people that you're all afraid to be around, which I'm not like that anymore. I used to be like that, where, you know, it's like, oh, I want to make it in the industry. I just want people to like me. I don't want to burn any bridges. And, you know, I was controlled by people when I had that mentality. And now it's like, it kind of guides me now. So maybe it's not a useless talent, because it actually is useful. Because if people get triggered and they're all weird and everything, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, you're not going to control me and how I am.
How you think, how you feel.
They're committed to misunderstanding me anyways, and where I'm coming from and my intentions. A lot of people, like, they think they can peer into your soul and tell you where you're coming from. And as an artist, you know, it's easy to consider that to be true, because they're like, yeah, that's true, because, you know, artists are emotional. But now I realize, like, it's bullshit. You know, like, I know myself, I know where I'm coming from, and if you take it wrong, that's your problem. You know?
Yeah.
People are always going to be casting that shadow on your light, man.
No matter what you do, if you're open about everything you believe in or everything you feel, or if you're not open to everything you feel, they're gonna judge you either way. They're gonna talk shit either way. So might as well be true to yourself.
I could pick up a fucking dime with my toes. You know, that's my useless talent.
Yeah, that's extremely useless.
I think I could still do a back handspring back in the day.
Oh shit. Dude.
I say that, but it's been a long time, so I might hurt myself.
I don't know. I think we need to see it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so, what's the best or your favorite song that you've created, or your favorite thing to perform? You know, what's your favorite?
Well, I mean, I have to say, for now, the success of Chivalry is Dead has been such a blessing that it has become my favorite, because people always want to hear it, you know. And I've heard people complain. They're like, oh man, this song again. I have to, you know, not about me, but I'm saying like other artists that were like, you know, I've worked with, where they're like, yeah, I got to sing this song again. And it's like, I feel like it's like, at least you have a song to sing, you know, these people want to hear it. And that song is, it's just, I'm proud of it, because it was successful, you know, and things happen for a reason. You get what you deserve. It was a good song, so people liked it. And, you know, if the other songs would have been successful, it was because they would have been as good, you know? So, I mean, yeah, I would say that song. But now I have a reference, like, all right, I need to make something better than that. And even like the Fuck Outta Here song, I like that song, but the message in it is not the same. It's not as impactful and deep as like Chivalry is Dead type of song, you know? Yeah. But I still like it. I still, you know, if I answer your question.
Yeah. That was it.
Do you have a message for any of your listeners or your fans currently, right now?
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Thank you for the support. And, it's interesting because a lot of, the streams and everything, they don't represent my social media, right? Like Instagram, I got like 28,000 followers, which is awesome. And I'm grateful for it. But when you mentioned earlier, like 45 million or however many on Spotify alone streams, that doesn't translate. And so I know that like people like my music, and I much rather have people like my music than like my lifestyle and my personality. Because I'm a musician. I'm in the music industry. I'm not in the lifestyle personality industry. And so I'm trying to tie it into the message to them is that, if you're watching this and you know who I am as a person, I appreciate you, giving me the platform, you guys, to come hang out and talk about this kind of stuff. But it's hard for me to be able to promote new music to all those people that already know that song, because it doesn't like, how do I say it? Like, if you're watching this and you know who I am and you like my music, it really helps when I do drop music to help spread the word, because I want to be able to have that impact again. But I know that like I said, with Ian Eastwood and stuff like that, like those were what made the stars align. So I know that's my job to be able to figure out other talented people that I can collaborate with to make it have that impact. But yeah, I mean, just thank you for the support and for listening and going an extra step than just listening and wanting to find me, to be able to get to know me and see and be updated on what new music is going to come, even though it's been a long time.
Yeah, your last release was a remix, right?
I don't know. I have been just making stuff just to put content out, but it's not like my pride and joy of music that I'm, like an album or something like that. But I have just been creating stuff for Instagram or YouTube and stuff like that, just to stay creative. Here's a little analogy I realized. It's like when you're going to make a campfire. I was at my dad's. He has a cabin in Oregon, and he's got these big ass logs, right? And we were going to go have a campfire outside. And I couldn't light the logs with a lighter. I have to create Kindle, right?
Yeah.
So I realized with my creativity, it's like I got these big ass logs, which is my other songs, an album or something. And then I have these like little Kindle songs or like pieces of creation. And I have to get a fire going creatively with the little songs that don't matter or that are just fun, that will help me get that fire going inside to really knock out the bigger logs, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I get it. All right, well, that's all I got. Jake, do you have any more? I know you always have a list of questions.
Oh yeah, I do. Well, you were talking about your music earlier. So how would you describe your sound to someone who may or may not have already listened to it?
Someone called me Trap King Cole one time, and I was like, that's hilarious.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that too.
Because I used to try to figure out a way to say, it's hard to put it in words, because I'd rather just someone listen to it and have them come up with their idea of what they think. But I used to be like, what if, Kanye West and Frank Sinatra had a love child? Like, at least that was the direction that I knew that I wanted. Because I love, all kinds of, different kinds of music, but there's like a little fly in here. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. God damn. You didn't pay your rent.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's because it's just a combination of everything I love,
Right.
It's like jazz, but the Trap King Cole I thought was funny, even though it sounds like rap or something like that. So I don't want to like lead people the wrong way, but I thought it was funny.
Did you have that name somewhere?
I have it on Instagram, I think. I might have changed it.
Yeah, I remember. I think when I first started listening to you, had that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because you have, you have that jazzy feel with the lyrics, fuck out of here, So you,
right, but yeah. But then once I started like being more vocal about what I thought in the world and whatever, like just speaking up about other things, people started getting, like their feathers ruffled.
Yeah.
And then like, a lot of the people that praised my music and loved me and was like, oh, you're talented or your music's great. Now, because they don't agree with something,
trash.
All of a sudden my music sounds like trash.
Yeah.
But a couple people messaged me like, and you call yourself Trap King Cole, you're a culture appropriator. And I'm like, okay. But people want to try to control you, hey man, if people are celebrating your culture, that's a great thing. That's the highest compliment is is that, if people didn't like you, then they wouldn't try to be like you. They wouldn't pull things from it, but I don't know. I guess it depends on attitudes from people,
Yeah.
I feel like any kind of PR is good PR. It just depends on how you brought up.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm not gonna get into like crazy politics, but Shia LaBeouf came out with a new movie called The Tax Collector, where he plays.
When was this?
Well, it's coming out. I think it's the trailer's out, and
nice.
He's playing a Mexican narco, so he's tax collector. Okay. He goes and kills people that aren't paying whatever. That's kind of the gist of it. People are saying he's brown facing. I'm like,
what do you call a Mexican with a rubber toe?
Roberto.
Why
did the Mexican only have one shoe tied?
What's that?
Why did the Mexican only have one shoe tied?
Because he only had one?
No, it's because at the bottom it says "Made in Taiwan."
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. My buddy actually just said that same joke, but he said it something different. He says, "Why can a Mexican why does he only tie one shoe?" Because on the bottom it says Taiwan.
Yeah.
Something like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, same concept.
That's funny because I've never heard that until my friend said it, and then the next day, like you literally said that yesterday, and then the next day you said it. It's crazy. You know how you like learn a new word and you're like, well, that's cool, and then you keep hearing it everywhere. Maybe I did hear it, but I just never realized it. I don't know.
Yeah. What is it like? Mean Girls fetch? That's so fetch.
That's so fetch.
You're never making that happen.
No, that's cool. I have to check that out because I know like Shia LaBeouf is pretty bold, and especially like there's been so much controversy in Hollywood, at least from what I've seen, because I know everyone follows different things on social media, so people might not be exposed. So I know the lens I look through is what I follow and what I look to seek to find.
Yeah.
But like to me, it's like a lot of stuff's coming down on Hollywood because Hollywood is the ones that created the whole cancel culture thing, and I know Hollywood is very left leaning. In politics and stuff and progressive and stuff like that. And that's part of what opened up my eyes in the industry and stuff like that is that like, for me, it's like, I've never been into politics at all, but I've always been, wanting to seek the truth and realize that good and evil exists. Mm-hmm. And when I started seeing that evil was happening and that it was being justified as right, I was like, what, that's not right. And so when I started speaking about what I thought was right and people would get angry and that they'd get like possessed by a spirit of hatred, then I would be like, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, and so then that brought me like, I've always never liked politics at all, but now it's like, I realize that everything in the world is political.
Yep. Everything you do, no matter what, there's politics involved.
Politics, exactly. Religion, all of them stimulate the same part of your brain that war does. So.
Right. That's why I realized, dude, that the anger thing is such a key thing. And what really blew my mind was I realized, like, I came into the world, right? And I had a soul, at least this is what I believe. I had a soul, I came into the world, and the world is physical, right? And so I remember I was saying, like, I'm a product of my influences, right? So I became musically what I liked and what I observed and saw. And when we're born, we observe like, oh, so people are walking, and so we want to walk too. And so the world, our parents, and everything around us is imposing these influences onto us. And when I realized that, like, I didn't grow up in a perfect family, and I really faced, that the way I was raised wasn't perfect, and looked at the wrong things and accepted that they were wrong and overcame, especially with like my mom, right? Especially as a man, I realized I came from a woman. I came out of my mom, right? And then I was raised, my dad worked all the time. And so I was raised by a mom, and she was very emotional. And so entering into manhood, I had to realize that I had her identity, which was imposed onto me. And of course that caused me to be more emotional. And it did contribute to my music, because I created music because it was really escape from the dysfunction in my family. But then once I got older and I realized that I was living in an identity that was not my own. Mm-hmm. And I forgave her. I confronted and talked to her, and I forgave my dad too for not protecting, his kids from her emotions, because she was very, she meant well, but she did. People they don't know where they're wrong. You know, they only know what to do what they can. But it doesn't change the fact that it's still wrong. So to be able to overcome that, like, because that way now it's like I date or find a woman or whatever, she's not going to be my mom. You know, I'm going to be able to lead a family. I'm going to be able to not be walked all over. And I like being a man, and I know what the difference is between being a man, because it's a man's nature to be logical and find solutions. And you know, there's a lot to it, but you know, I know women are more emotional. It's just a fact. Mm-hmm. So I like the world nowadays tries to impose and teach us that emotions are good and that real men are weak, and it's just not true.
No, I understand, man. Honestly, I think some of the strongest people, man, are not afraid to cry, are not afraid to open up and be vulnerable, to share parts of themselves.
But the thing is that we're in a world that's so judgmental, right? Mm-hmm. And people will try to make you feel comfortable to share your weaknesses, and then they use it against you. Yep. It never helps you. It never helps you because people just want to judge you, even if they don't realize it. You know that they're gonna judge you whether you like it or not, and or think so or not. And so that's why I realize whatever weaknesses I have are my weaknesses, my issues that I need to have to work out on my own. And it emotionally feels good to share them and be weak, but it doesn't help anything. And at the end of the day, people will judge you for it. And it's better to just, be reserved in the sense of figuring it out for yourself. Because if you figure it out for yourself, you won't need to feel the need to go cry to someone else and tell them all your problems and stuff like that, because no one wants to hear your issues. And if I do share my problems, it's going to be with other men that are
capable of understanding.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be my girlfriend, it's not going to be my sister, and I mean, people will take that so wrong these days, but I've seen that to be absolutely true for me, because I mean, I was that way because of the way I was raised with my mom. My mom, she caused me to be that way. And I realized that I suffered in that because it never helped. Never helped me to be that way, because I'd just always be weak, Yeah.
Makes sense.
Dang, that's rough, man. Well, honestly, you're not weak. You're here where you're at today, and you only have further to go, man.
Yeah. For sure.
All right.
So, definitely appreciate you having.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me, man.
If you need anything, man, feel free to reach out. We're more than happy.
If you need anything at all, man. If you need anything.
He's here to listen to you.
If you want a high five, no. If you want a high five, we got you.
No, I appreciate it, man. And I think I follow your Music Junkies page back, so I appreciate having me on. And man, well, I'll keep you updated on the new music and stuff like that. And if anything comes your way that you think makes sense for me, feel free to hit me up.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate your time.
Cool. You too, guys.
See you later.
Take care, man.
That was a great interview that we had. Trevor Wesley. Wow. Guys got a lot for him, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Listen to his music. Chivalry is Dead, went viral, went fucking crazy with 34 million views on just Spotify alone. It's a great song. He's coming out with a new song, Fuck Outta Here. Be sure to check that out.
Here.
Fuck out of here. I can't do a white person accent.
So, fuck out of here. Dude's got 224,545 monthly listeners on Spotify.
How many?
224,000.
One more time?
500. 224,545.
One more time? Okay, I did.
You know what? Music news time.
Music news. So, I have no idea, what's going on. Britney Spears, have you seen her lately?
No, haven't seen her since she shaved her head, in my opinion.
That was what? Fuck, that was like 2010 or something. But so she's crazy. She's gone insane. She's making like TikTok dance videos, and like you just watch them and you feel so bad. Like you could tell she's not. There's something wrong. So she doesn't own the rights to make decisions for herself. You know how me and you live freely, and we could, if I want to go and buy a car, I could go buy a car if I fucking want. You know, if I have money, of course. I'm poor, so I can't. But if I wanted to, I could. So Britney Spears doesn't own the rights to do that. Her dad does. So her dad has the right to let her buy a house, buy a car, move out, do this.
Dad has power of attorney over her.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Because she's not all there. So people are started this like hashtag called Free Britney. Like, you've seen her videos, not you personally, but you know, people that follow
Stop yelling at me, Mario.
Like, how do you feel like that'd be right for her to have the right to make decisions for herself and for her kids? And you know, her kids aren't safe with her. She's dating like this super young guy, and it's like, wow. I you know, I guess that's what, like, you know, child fame does to you, because she was big when she was like a teenager. So
look out, JB. You're next, homie.
Actually, Justin Bieber came out and, you know, apologized for all the shit that he's done, and you know how childish he's acted. So I think he realized that he was a fuck up. You know, I don't know. I like it. I've always liked JB. You know, I've had a little bit of Bieber fever.
He's still a human, man. You know, I get it. I see.
But yeah, Free Britney trending. I have no idea why.
Oh, man, it blows my mind. You know, she hasn't been doing well for a long time, obviously. I wish I would have done some research to see if she's written some new music since, but I mean...
No, I don't think so. I think it was just her going crazy. Get help. That's the message from that.
That's the best thing you can do. Talk to your therapist.
Talk to your therapist. You know, there's actually the service. You know, you could text a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Kind of expensive. Some insurances covers it. But you could just text them, or, you know, do a virtual online visit. I haven't done it. I want to, though. Yeah. But
but again, you know, mental illness is a serious thing, and you know, with artists, most of them aren't there. That's why they're so good at expressing themselves and being creative about it, because it's a positive outlet. So, you know, my heart goes out to everyone.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, Billie Eilish came out with a new song. Eilish, whatever the fuck it is. That chick, she came out with a new song called My Future. It kind of emphasizes self-love and, you know, personal care, taking care of yourself mentally, physically, whatever it is. I saw the video. It's like a cartoon video. It's pretty cool. So, you know, speaking of mental health and taking care of yourself, and, you know, I think this would be a good song to listen to kind of show you that you know, you're enough. You're everything you need to hear is in the song. So, listen to that.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. So crazy. She's fucking, I think she's 18 now, and she's making gajillions of dollars.
She's killing it, dude. Bajillions. She's killing it, man.
Yeah. She's younger than me and making more money than I am. So sad. But she has talent and I don't. So, makes sense.
And you don't have talent.
Useless talents. I have a shit ton of talents, but they're all useless. Like, what would you say, picking up a dime with your toes?
Yeah, you can't do that shit.
Fucking monkey. God damn.
Careful, I'll punch you in the jaw with my foot.
So you're gonna punch me in the jaw. Yeah, that makes sense. With your knuckle toes. Oh, I could picture that. So what do you got for me?
I don't really have much. I don't have music news.
You don't have much or none?
None.
Thanks, Jacob, for letting me down.
You're welcome, Mario.
Once again, you let me down. You let our listeners down. So, Kaylani, singer, rapper. Fuck, she could do it all, and she could do me. I mean, what? I mean, she came out with the song and a music video, kind of.
Is there someone in your doorway, like peeking through that crack there?
Where? What are you talking about?
None.
Oh, my girl? She's not here. And when she does, she'll probably smack me. But anyways, Kehlani came out with a song and a video called Can I? And it kind of gives you a positive outlook onto sex workers. You know, people with OnlyFans, live streaming sex workers and stuff like that. It's pretty powerful. If you watch the video, it's showing you like live feeds, you know, live cam girls kind of doing their thing. And it's pretty crazy. And now, you know, with the quarantine going on, everyone's starting an OnlyFans, a podcast like ours. You know, everyone's starting to be content creators, TikTokers and shit like that. So it makes sense, you know. It makes sense that, you know, females want to feel powerful and kind of promote themselves in that outlook for pervs like you.
Yeah, music junkies.
What? I was talking about pervs like you, Jacob.
Oh, like me? Yes.
Like you, yeah. Number one OnlyFans buyer. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. John Legend came out with a new song. And it was about a month ago, but really good song called Oola.
Oola.
It's like a doo-wop type R&B baby music song. John Legend is all about that baby making soft, you know, slow jams.
He's got them pipes for it
the
too.
Slow jams. But yeah, you should listen to that. Really good song. And that's about everything I have. Not music related. Ellen DeGeneres is getting blasted everywhere for being a toxic boss. I don't know if you heard of that.
Toxic boss?
Yeah, like she's extremely mean, toxic, and like it's the worst toxic environment. So Warner Brothers actually released an official investigation to the work environment at the Ellen DeGeneres show, because producers and stuff like that are calling her out and saying she's the meanest person in the world. Who would have thought? Ellen DeGeneres, she seems like the nicest person in the world. She's the bitchiest.
On television.
Everyone puts up a front, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's all I got. So, you know, everybody, we love you. Listen to our shit, stream our shit, support our shit, wipe our shit.
That would be nice.
That would be nice, huh? A personal butt wiper.
Oh my gosh, they used to have those back in the day, bro.
For people that had money. Now you could just buy a bidet. Go on Wish and buy those little crappy ass, no pun intended, bidets.
Happy ass.
That was out of nowhere. That just came out. No pun intended again.
Oh, that was shitty.
Pun intended right there. So yeah, we love you. Tune in next week. We're gonna try to get someone in the rock industry or rock genre. Yeah, I think we've had mostly rap, R&B, singer, hip hop. Yeah, so rock or reggae.
Basis.
What?
Instead of reggae basis.
And a reggae basis.
That's
Slap of the bass.
Slap of the bass.
Yeah.
Oh, also, for those of you who actually listen to our podcast, put some fire under Mario's ass and tell him to get started with some merch so we can start selling it to you guys. Cause
Get started on merch. It's already out.
Then what the fuck are y'all waiting for? Buy our merch.
Link in the bio on our Instagram, on our Facebook. If you go to our website, it'll give you the link for those. It's Music Junkies Podcast or musicjunkiespodcast.bigcartel.com. You could order a merch and it'll be shipped directly from the supplier. So buy our shit. I think we've only got one purchase, and I think I lost money because it was a problem. But yeah, buy our shit, support, donate if you can on our Anchor. So just Music Junkies Podcast, and it'll give you the link to donate if you'd like. We are building a studio. Hopefully, within the next month or so, we have it up and running. And anything you can donate helps. We're trying to do this full time. Trying to give you music news and interviews full time.
Music news and interviews.
And if you're a veteran of the U.S. military, I got a good friend that's starting a podcast called Veterview. Gives you an inside look on the life of a veteran and what they live, after getting out of the military. Mental issues, just their own personal struggles. So, Veterview, listen to it. And that's pretty much all I got now.
All right, Music Junkies. Well, we love you.
We love you.
Like Trevor says to all the haters, fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. All right, peace, guys.